At this time, I invite forward for a stewardship moment.
Behold, all things new. Douglas, I was listening to you when you did your stewardship kickoff 2 weeks ago. When Mary asked me if I'd be willing to talk about what stewardship means to me a few months ago, my thought was, boy, I really don't like to talk in front of an audience, especially on a topic that is associated with giving. And then I thought, nobody really does. And stewardship means so many things to me, that why not me? Besides, it's easier than talking on that first reading today. But since Mary asked me to keep this to under 5 minutes, I would talk about just two things, and not necessarily the two most important things on my list. First, I'll talk about buildings and grounds. Although the building is not the church, we are. I do think it is important to talk about my experiences with this building. Over the years, I've been privileged to be involved with many projects involving this wonderful building: the steeple restoration, repairing windows, electrical, plumbing, and other repairs, maintaining the grounds, and many more. Two things that's consistently been rewarding in each of these projects: the generosity of parishioners with their time, treasures, and talents, and the comments of outside contractors that always start off with, well, you really do a nice job of taking care of this building. To which I would reply, the parishioners really care about this building because it's not only where we come to worship, but where we build community. It's very rewarding to share with others the love we have for St. Francis by the Sea and the gem we have here. Now I know to say, the building is not the church, we are. This leads me to my second thing stewardship means to me. Since we are the church, and we need to be stewards of the church, then we need to be stewards of the people. I think of stewardship and sustainability as going hand in hand. I already referred to the sustainability of the building, now the people. I think back to when Melissa and my first contact with someone from St. Francis, before we were members, which was Patty and Rudy Deachin. After they introduced themselves to us at a concert, he ended a nice conversation with, you should come join us at St. Francis, which we did, and were so moved by the fellowship and friendship that we never stopped coming. What a wonderful way for Patty and Rudy to be stewards of the church. I look around St. Francis from week to week, and I miss many of the beautiful people who have left us. But I'm thrilled by the new faces that have replaced them. We need to be stewards of the church by inviting more new faces, and then giving them a warm, friendly welcome. This will not only help fill this wonderful building, but will make St. Francis a sustainable church into the future. One final thought. After being members of St. Francis for about a year, Melissa and I were at Patty's camp for dinner. Patty was a member of the pledge committee for one of the capital campaigns. Saying yes to Patty was not a hard decision. After a few years of fulfilling our capital pledge, the annual stewardship campaign came along that year. We decided our capital pledge and stewardship pledge had been a good investment. And since we no longer had a capital pledge to fulfill, why not increase our stewardship pledge? If you are so moved, please consider increasing your pledge. Not only is it a good investment, but it will enable the sustainability of this wonderful things we have going here. Thank you.
Thank you, John Paul, for saying yes to speaking to us today. Those were words well taken. We appreciate your presence with us and your wisdom and your sharing today. 86% of newcomers to church come not because a clergy person invited them. You can imagine that just might be a little standoffish to people, though I try, and I have two friends here today that I'll introduce you to in a moment. But that 86% of newcomers come because they know somebody in the congregation who asked, and they said yes. So I want to thank all of you for all the ways that you continue to say yes for your church, which is us in this beautiful building. Lynn is going to say a word about the fair. And we love the display, Lynn, outside. And you too listened to that sermon from the other week, because there is that behold word out there. Tell us more.
I did listen. Behold, the tent. I was pricing renting tents from several different sources, and they're ghastly expensive. So I ordered this sample tent online, and I ordered it so that we could test if it went up easily and came down easily. So yesterday, Mark, my partner, and I came over to put the tent up. Mark doesn't like to read directions. So we just started putting the tent up, and we ran into a little glitch. And behold, Fred came by, took the directions out. The tent went up so quickly. It was amazing. So I think that the tent will go up with 4 people without any stress in about 30 minutes. That being said, we need more tents. And I was hoping that your generosity might buy a tent for the fair. I listed in the paper that they are $350 because I was including the freight. But when our tent came, it included the freight, so it's a bargain. It's now $300 for a tent. So if in your heart of hearts, your generosity would allow you to buy one, please let Barbara or myself know. I'm the last one in the Friends book, the Y. I always pray for a Z, but it doesn't always happen. Today was the first day of drop-off downstairs, junk. The signs are pretty easy to follow. If you are going to make a drop-off or a donation after the church office closes, please leave your items downstairs under the overhang. Someone will check that on a daily basis and bring your items in. So do not worry about leaving them out there if you don't make it during the hours of the office. So thank you. Fingers crossed we get some tents. Thank you.
This Tuesday at 10 o'clock is the interment for Joanne Cruston that will be at the village cemetery in Surrey. And the celebration of life for Giffey Full will be this Friday beginning at 4:30. Don't come to church because it's not here. It's at the Brooklyn Boatyard. Though if you do come here, you will pray for Giffey while we are celebrating his life at the Boatyard.